Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Old School Rally, a game which, well, as the name would suggest, is an old school style rally game, which I have got very, very fond memories of this style of game. Some of the very first games I ever played, full stop, are the old Network Q rally games, Colin McRae rally games. So naturally I am a little bit biased going into this. Vehicle selection is cool. I mean, as you can tell immediately from the graphics of this, it's, you know, your arcadey stylized classic racing game. But you've got the sort of vehicles you would expect. Subaru Impreza, Mitsubishi Evo, there's a 206 in here, 131 Abarth, there is a 205, naturally got some, there's lots of Group B machinery, Celica GT4, RS200, Audi Quattro, that looks like some of the best stats you're going to find on a car in the game, A86, Lancia Stratos, you got a good old Mini, Alpine, the A110, Lancia Delta, I want to say a Mark II Escort, although the front of it does remind me a little bit of the Ascona, the old Opel. The back's very, very Escorty. And then there's a Lancia Fulvia. Of course, they are not actually, named, but they're stylized. You know what they're going for here. We're going to jump into the Expert one. Sure, why not? Now, this is it is very much an arcade game, and it is currently in early access. I'll definitely be interested to see what happens. Hopefully more stages and more cars. We will get off, and I've got to remember the controls now. Here we go, we're using left and right button to go up through the gears. So, driving wise, let's go and start with this. This is supposed to be sort of the arcadey. Oh, I have gone down the gear. Quite sure how I managed to come to a stop there. How did I manage that? I'm not 100% sure. Well, that's not going to be a particularly good first sector for me. So, handling wise, yep, it is a very much arcadey game. Oh, it takes a little bit of getting used to in this. The cars have got a lot of grip. You can sort of chuck them around and you will get away with a fair amount. God, this is actually a much twistier stage than the ones I was doing before we started filming. Okay, I am apparently a little bit on the rusty side of things. One of the things I was going to say is some of the stages I was driving around earlier. Why do you keep coming to a complete standstill? That's slightly unusual. I haven't come across that before. This is by far and away one of the more technical stages. I was going to say a lot of the stages that I have been dealing with so far have been relatively high speed, have been relatively, little tap on the brakes to get through a lot of it. This is suddenly ramped up the technicality of it all. We have bumped off bits and pieces of the walls around here. It has been a very scruffy start for my Peugeot here. Okay, we are going to actually try and slow it down. That's better in terms of getting the time. I mean, I'm thinking we are leading overall. I have digressed slightly because it's gone into the age-old, oh crap, it's really technical. I've got to think a lot of what I'm doing in terms of driving. Yep, there is some water there. I will say, so driving-wise, very arcadey. It's not bad to drive at all. You don't really ever have the cars sliding around, which seems a little bit remiss in a rally game. You don't really get to drift at all. Sorry, I left the cursor on the screen like an idiot. Yeah, the cars, they don't really slide around all too much. So you're going to have to stop, you're going to have to get them, you are going to have to slow down. It's not a tap brake to drift kind of arcadey. But yeah, there is no real sliding about, so to speak of. It's a design choice that they have gone for with this one, which I don't mind, but it does seem a little bit, it's almost counterintuitive in some ways. Not quite, perhaps, what you are expecting from a rally game. Some of the earlier stages are very, very quick. Apparently, yeah, they can get very technical indeed. I mean, we didn't have a very good run through here, so this is, I guess, probably about like medium difficulty or whatever. There's a couple of tougher championships to come in this, and winning it quite handily. I don't know how fast the AI are going to get in the later stage. I think I'm not going down enough gears. I think that's what I was having issues with, having not dealt with the technical courses all too much. So yeah, it's fun enough to drive. It might not suit everybody. Oh, that was not a great sector particularly. But it is true to the name. It is your old school arcadey rally game. Just this one here with a lot less sliding about. So I say old school driving game, if you will. The stages, as I said, they've got some pretty interesting variety so far. Again, this is early access. I would expect there to be potentially more along the way, or coming along in future new countries and more stages per country and all of that. There are some very, very quick ones that I have ran through. That previous one was nasty. I mean, as far as your... we got through there. It was a little bit dicey in all of that. We were going to fly across the line. Sorry, the cursor keeps liking to appear in the centre of the screen, and I don't quite know why. I evacuated it off the side, and it's come back again. I'm playing this on an Xbox controller, as you might imagine. So you have a repair halt at the moment. It is just a straightforward. You bump a wall, you lose a little bit of health. There's no specific sector. There's no like specific wheel, suspension, bodywork, all of that kind of thing. Sort of a more streamlined repairing of your vehicle than... Let's say, like, I say something like the EAWRC, or like it's, as I said, it is an arcadey game, but there is damage to be dealing with. There is things to be worrying about if you are going to be a little bit of an idiot. Now here we've got good old Finland. We should be a little bit wider. We should get away, hopefully, with a little bit more speed. We will try and throw the car around, carry as much speed as we dare through here. I'm hoping for some jumps. You know, we've got to get some big jumps on the go. That's not what we're looking for. We're into a little fiddly section. The stages so far, all the stages that I've come across are relatively short, which I don't mind. Again, I don't mind personally. I'd rather lots of sort of compact, short stages. Again, that is personal preference, but in a little arcadey game, you're probably not going to expect to have super long stages. It's tempted to try and jump it across. I don't know how much the game... I don't know if and when the game is going to shout at me for trying to take a shortcut. I haven't got it to shout at me yet, but I probably haven't been as aggressive in places as I could be. That was possibly an opportune moment to try a little bit of a shortcut. Can we do the old... the corner's going this... It's not going to be helpful going down there because the corner's going that way. So we would end up just taking a funky line. There's kind of a little bit of a slide through there. We haven't needed to go on the brakes all too much around here. I was tempted... you could maybe try and negotiate through the trees there. Oh, it's all fine. It's all fine. We are clear. We will be flat through here, no problem. Well, I don't know if we go around the outside of the checkpoint what's going to happen. I'm not going to try and find out. We're still up in terms of time, but it looks like we've lost a little bit of time in this. We're only a couple of seconds up. Oh. Okay, chicane. It wasn't much of a chicane. That's why I was taking the Japanese ones so hard, because I'm used to dealing with those sort of chicanes, and they are just completely flat out, no problem. There's a fast section there to the end. That's a fun stage. Okay, so I think the time, either we were immensely fast in the final sector, or the time is like, so that was like -2 just in that sector. It's not tracking over the course of everything. Okay. That was there's Finland. As you would expect, Finland is fast. There are jumps. The vehicle, I mean, as far as handling goes, I've not had any issues with jump. It's quite forgiving when you come to hitting the jumps. You can be really aggressive and just launch your vehicle into the air, and it'll mostly sort itself out. You're not going to have big problems on the landing. We will make sure I don't stall the car through there. There's no sort of tuning for the vehicle at the moment, so the gear ratios are what they are. Do you... Whoa. Uh-oh. That's fine. So can you run out of gears? There's a couple of stages, little bits here, like for example, we'll probably get towards at the top of the gearbox. But on the whole, I haven't come across anywhere where it's really been a problem, where it's felt like we're stuck buzzing in the limiter or anything like that. Funnily enough, the game kind of designed. That's a very big drop to the side. Yeah, do not want to go and mess that up. Particularly, thankfully, there's a very big drop, but it's a straightforward section. I feel like that could be very mean. There's potential for some very mean rally stages. Oh, we're going to overshoot a little bit through there. Not great. Section. I mean, still good enough. We will. Can we cut the corner a little bit? No, we don't even really need to break through that. It was just launch the car in. It's plenty wide enough here. Again, another trait. It is quite funny when I've gone back and played various old rally games. How wide the roads are. Not in all of them, of course, but certainly some of the old, like the V-Rally ones and so on. They had very, very wide stages. And as games have progressed, when you start getting to, I don't think we actually need to repair the vehicle at all. When you start getting to modern rally games, when you start getting to the Dirt series, the WRC series, the EA one now. The stages just get narrower and narrower as you go along. Even the Colin McRae games. I mean, the Richard Burns Rally was a bit different, of course. I've not really played enough of that one to give you, I say, useful information. But yeah, it is quite funny how wide the stages were. And for some of the countries, this does, some of the rallies do have quite wider roads. I'm glad to see. Oh. We clonked the floor trying to climb up there a little bit wonky. I am glad to see that this one, while it does have the wide open stage, you've got this sort of one. You've got your technical, your demanding stages. Bloody hell, that is very, very narrow and difficult to get the car through. We can kind of see a little bit of what's coming up in front. This has been scruffy from me so far. I mean, it's fast enough. It's fast enough that we will get by. Against the AI on this. Come on, but it hasn't felt particularly good. It's felt erratic. It's felt scruffy through here. There's a lot of hot air balloons around the place. Why? I'm not completely sure, but there are. Whoa, nope. That was just come to a complete stop because I've not got the line. Not got the line right. I've kind of not really. It's what I'm doing a little bit here is sort of slowing down a bit too late, and then we're panicking, and it's not quite working. Oh, got my turning completely terrible through there. Now, whoa, little. Nope, that's going to be in the wall. That's too much. There's times when you can just tell you've been a little bit too brave, and you can't undo it. You've just kind of got to live with it. Now, will the cars roll is always a good question. I haven't been able to make it fall over yet. And it's not to say that you can't, but I haven't got it to fall over at any point. We have bumped off just about every single wall. There is a very... there is visual damage, as you can see. Like, we've bent the bodywork, clonking the walls. We've seen it in a couple of stages. You could probably fall over if you climb up that wall. They're too high. Okay, well, now I'm slightly curious. No, didn't want to go. We're going to break the car, continuing doing that. Yeah, this is by far and away. I haven't actually driven this stage before. This is by far and away the most technically demanding of stages that I have come across. I mean, yeah, it's narrow. It's very easy to make errors. We have almost broken our car. I've actually got to be a little bit careful now. Because we are going to end up with a very broken car going into the latter stages. Oh, I clipped the wall on one side and then couldn't get the car off of it. Oh dear. There we go. Oh dear, it's a very unhappy looking Peugeot. I'm sorry Peugeot. In fact, it's so unhappy. Brake lights got a little bit in a weird place. God, that is a tough stage. I mean, it's quick enough apparently. I overdrove the crap out of that. Way overdrove it. Which gave us some problem. I am now going to have to be careful. I mean, this is one of the things with rally game. Unfortunately, the damage doesn't seem to translate in between rounds. Oh, I forgot to say, I mean, you've got different camera angles. You have even got a first-person camera angle, which is very cool to have in a game like this. I mean, some of the old games, I mean, I remember the old Tucker Race Driver games, they had a cockpit camera. Back when I was playing them when I was much younger, that wasn't something that I would have utilised all that much, but it's fun to have these options and so on. But yeah, I mean, I like this game a lot because this is what I grew up playing, these old school rally games. It was, you know, when I was much younger, when I was just starting gaming, rally stuff was pretty much where I began with things like this. So while I have gone back and played a lot of the games that I, well, you know, played while growing up, it is interesting to see something go and have a new take on it. I'm very curious to see where this one can go. As I said, this is early access. You know, whenever I talk about an early access game, I'll talk about what there is on offer right now, because, you know, as ever with early access, you never quite know what's going to happen with it. And, you know, there isn't. This will last you a few hours probably with what's there now. You'll have your fun. If, like me, you grew up with these sort of games, you love these kind of games, it's a really fun little nostalgia trip. And some new challenges, there's some cool stages on it. There's not a crazy amount of content overall currently, but you'll definitely get your fun out of it. I think it's about £8, if I've remembered correctly, on Steam. You'll definitely get plenty of fun out of it, especially if you want to go and see how fast you can get through some of the stages, unlock all the cars, and all of that kind of thing. But yeah, there isn't, I say, a crazy amount of content just now, but it's fun. You know, it is fun driving the vehicles around here. It is a fun driving challenge. I always like a good driving challenge, trying to adapt to a new game. Don't go in the trees. I can't afford to wrap my car around a tree. But one of the things with rally games is a very difficult balance between having having the damage be a little bit inconsequential. You don't want that. It's an important part of rallying, and having it being, you know, I say crazy impactful. I tend to prefer the rally games to go on the crazy impactful. An arcadey game though like this, unless you're really abusing the car, you're probably not going to have too many issues with the whole repair halt thing. Although, as you saw, I had one bad stage, and that caused us some grief. That actually really caused us some problem. I think we're going to be okay. Yeah, we got away with fixing it up fully that time, but that was literally it. That was the whole thing right there. Okay, I think we've got 2 more stages. If I have remembered correctly, I mean, we're getting... This championship is a good showcase of all the different countries that we have to deal with. Naturally, we're going to go to Sweden. We have got some snow to be dealing with. The snowbanks aren't as terrifying as they are in the dirt games and the EA one. You will get away a little bit more here with clonking over the snow. You're not going to get clonking over the inside there. That will launch you. The pace notes sometimes a little bit slow. Not on the most part, not too bad. It can be a little bit slow to inform you what's coming up, although it's not. Again, it's not quite as desperately significant as some of the other games. You will get away, on the most part, with figuring out what's coming up just by looking and, you know, being this arcadey. You don't have a particularly big braking zone into these corners. You've got a lot of grip, so you will get away with the odd late call catching you out because you've probably got powerful enough brakes to get away with it. Can we go up there? We can shortcut it a little bit. We will. I mean, wasn't much of a chicane there. The right-left chicane bit can sometimes be quite deceptive, as we said. It's difficult to tell just how tighter a chicane it is. Some of them are pretty much just flat out. Some of them you've really got to slow down. Would maybe like some form of some way to differentiate between the two. There is, I say, a little bit nitpicky on that one. We'll chuck it through. That chicane there's actually quite fast. I think if I got the approach correctly, and that's around the final corner. We are going very quickly indeed here. Oh, and we're going to finish on Sweden the second of the Swedish stages. I think there are two or three stages per country at the moment. Right, here we go. We have got one more stage between us and glory. We should be pretty damn well set in all of this, if I'm being honest. Okay, we will be flat through there. We absolutely just straight line it. You can get a bit creative with your lines. Okay, that's also would have been flat. Did not know how tight that was, because you know we're going up a hill. You can't see over the blind crest. I was gonna say get sideways. Got it through there quite nicely. Can spot the line just about. A little bit of guesswork went on in that. I wonder if I could have dove through the trees there for a bit of a shortcut. Whoa. Okay, we are chucking the car about over the sort of snowbanks. I was going to say curbing. It kind of is acting like that a little bit here. You can just launch it across. I'm worried it's going to bounce around, but it doesn't seem to do that too much in this game. You'll get away with the cars being relatively stable. Almost slid myself into the railing. There goes the hairpin. A little bit of a sluggish. Not quite got the momentum carrying through the hairpin that you might want at the moment. Still a little bit. Still room for improvement. That was in the wrong gear. You don't have to drive this in manual, of course. You can run it in automatic. I am just choosing to drive in manual. Always prefer driving in manual. And there we go. That was a monstrous time through that one. Yeah, difficulty made in a little bit of an increase in play. I mean, that's supposed to be the expert one, and we were breezing it by many seconds through a lot of it. But there we go. That is a look at old school rally. It is a very good fun. As I said, if you have nostalgia for these games, especially if you have nostalgia for these games like me, you will have plenty of fun with this one. I also do like the little car collection. I'm just a nerd for having like little model cars in real life and in games. I do like this as a way to look through your vehicles. I also do like that you can change the you can customize. You want some green shelving. I mean, normally I like orange. I'm not sure it quite works there. I like the black shelving. I have very similar shelving units to this. But yeah, you can change the room where they are stored and everything. It's just a fun little way of displaying stuff. But there we go. Yeah, if you're into this sort of thing, I do recommend you go have a look at this one. As I said, it's in early access. I'm very curious to see where it goes. Because yeah, I do love the old school rally vibe essentially that is coming from this one. That though is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.